Hi, and welcome to Chamber Chat. I'm Danielle McFadden, President of the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce. I'm so excited to kick off a new series monthly with our local nonprofits.
Hi, Danielle.
Who better to kick it off with than
I
Debbie
know, I'm so
Callery?
excited to be here with you, really. My first podcast.
I know, I can't believe
I
it.
know.
Debbie's, who those of you who don't know her, which I can't imagine not knowing Debbie at this point because she's just everywhere, but she's the Executive Director of the Merrimack Valley Food Bank.
Yes, I am.
And there's a lot going on at the food bank.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on everywhere.
There is.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the food bank.
Yeah, so we're extremely busy, as people can imagine. Lots of people have fallen on hard times. Price of groceries increasing, and
Insane.
even the average family, two working parents. It's like sticker shock when you check out. It's only two of us.
Yeah.
And I can't believe what I spend at the grocery store. So we're serving a lot of people these days. We're serving a lot of emergency feeding programs. We're trying to really work with them to make sure they have what they need to serve the people. But it's, every day's a little bit of a struggle, but we get through, and we love the people that we're partnering with, the organizations. They really have the hard job. They're on the streets. They're
talking to folks that have fallen on the hard times.
Exactly. We're behind the scenes. We get to deal with like Salvation Army and Coalition for a Better Acre, and not have to like maybe see the sadness every day directly.
Yeah. But I mean, you do such great work. You had a food drive recently. How did that go?
Yeah, that was great. We experienced a little bit of a federal cut to some of the funding we get for food, and we had posted about it, and from that point on, there was just this momentum that we thought we would really try to keep going. And so we hosted a food drive at the food bank on a Saturday morning. We probably had like 35 people or so stop in, do tours all week long. For 2 weeks, people were dropping off food, making donations. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, the support was just overwhelmingly positive.
Well, this community just comes together.
It does. I can't imagine being anywhere else, honestly, and doing the work that we do.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just food insecurity is something that, I mean, it's just such a basic need. So during times like this, I think people really rally around that as a cause.
I think so too. I think
no one
so
should
too.
Go hungry.
Yeah. Today is SNAP Day of Action in the state.
Sorry, I had to do a little snap. Your snap was way better than my snap.
Potential cuts to SNAP, which is food stamps. It's the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Could be on the table. A lot of people in Mass receive that benefit, but I don't think that people fully understand the importance. Those families that receive that benefit are able to purchase healthy food for their family, meaning the retailers benefit from that.
Absolutely.
Their workforce benefits from that. I mean, you think about all of the market baskets just in Greater Lowell and the number of people they employ. I mean, that's cash in there. That's reimbursed to them. So it affects everyone. So with those cuts comes more people waiting in line at the food pantry, which means the food pantry needs more food, which means the food bank needs to find a way to provide them more food. So it's just like a domino effect. It trickles down to everyone. So
sure does.
We're really hoping that that doesn't happen.
Yeah. So today's a day of action.
Yes.
So how can people?
Well, we're posting all over social media. Organizations like Project Bread, the other 3 food banks in the state, Mass Law Reform, emergency feeding programs. I guess you could go to our Facebook page and share what we're sharing today. And maybe actually like read a little bit about SNAP and how the program works.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your Facebook page and social media is wonderful. So
I
encourage everybody to check it out anyways and share and share and share.
Michaela Clarity and Kelly Prue, they're doing a really great job with our social media. And it's good to have people dedicated to it as well.
Yeah, that's huge.
So, it's great. They're really getting the message out there.
Yeah, and it came in time with a new building, a rebrand. You want to talk a little bit about that? Yeah,
so last February 2024, we moved to a new building. We're occupying like 27,000 square feet. It's all one level. It's beautiful. For us, it's state of the art.
It's
Yeah, it's really
incredible building.
beautiful. And I always encourage people, call if you want to come and do a tour. Um, those that had visited our prior location, which served us well for 30 years, and then come to the new location, they're just dumbfounded. They just can't even
I
believe.
feel that way every
They
time I
can't
walk in
believe
the
it.
building.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. The warehouse, the refrigeration.
And
I never,
it's efficient, it's
Yes.
safe, it's clean, it's
I never thought I would be so excited about 5,000 square feet of freezer and refrigeration, but it makes the lives of our staff members a lot easier.
yeah.
Those picking orders, moving food, receiving food. So, yeah, it's great.
For anybody that wants to get involved with the food bank. How are some ways they can do that?
We have some volunteer opportunities. You can visit our website at mvfb.org. There's a volunteer application. You could help with our Operation Nourish Children's Feeding Program. We're kicking off our community market in June, which is a free farmers market style.
Yeah.
Program that we offer to residents at 8 public housing properties in Greater Lowell. And that happens on Thursdays and Fridays, and we're always looking for people to help with that. You could come and sort food, stock food. I mean, it's not glamorous work, but it's fulfilling for sure.
Oh, and I feel like the volunteers become part of the food
They
bank
are.
family. I think of people like Jen Sigliano, Tom Curtis, with people
Yes,
that are there
yes.
all the time.
Today we have
Karen
La
LaChapelle.
Chapelle.
She started as a volunteer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a lot of employees
Yeah.
that started as volunteers. But also Sherry Dank, who's retired from Middlesex Community College, and Linda Barrington retired from UMass Lowell. They're my Wednesday.
Wednesday crew?
Every
Yeah.
Wednesday, they're there, and they're there for like 4 hours, and it's great to have them. It's great to have the
amazing.
regular.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
having, it gives us like 20 more employees.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a good cause, and it's a really great environment to be
I
in.
agree.
So let's talk a little bit about Big Night Out. That's another way people can get
Yeah.
involved.
So we host 2 fundraisers a year. And the one that is coming up in June is called Big Night Out. It's a 4th annual Big Night Out.
Thanks. Yeah. 10,
4th
10
annual Big Night Out. And it's at Lindsay's on June 5th from 6 to 9:30, 5:30 to 9:30, 6 to 9:30. But on our website, there's a lot of information. But it's a really nice event. More of like a big cocktail party, but lots of food and carving stations and over 100. We have some amazing auction
Oh my
items.
gosh, the auction's awesome.
And there's something for everyone, price-wise. And, we're going to have a paddleboard.
Awesome.
I'm trying to think. There's a lot of experiences. There's a weekend away at the Cape. It'll all be mobile, and that will go live in a few weeks, so everybody can check out. We'll start showing what we're going to have on the auction to get people excited. The fundraisers, Leo Sheridan, Richie Sarmento, Paul Blay, they play every year. They're so much fun. It's just a really nice time, and of course we really are immersed in our mission. We believe it's a great cause. So by coming or donating an auction item, you're helping that cause.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people say it's like their favorite
Yeah.
event of the year. Something
There's
they really look forward to.
Over 300 people.
And
attend.
it's just fun because you
Yeah.
can mingle. It's not, you're not sitting there
Yeah.
having to listen to people for too long speaking.
Yeah.
It's nice.
This year, we're working on like a very short, informative video about the food bank, which we've never done before. We try to limit the programming so you can just enjoy yourself. But it's still a moment for us to be able to talk about the work we do
Absolutely. Yeah, that's
and
important.
share it with, a lot of people.
Yeah, and we talked about that you had a food drive recently, but if you're listening or viewing and you want to host a food drive in your neighborhood or your work, that's another great way to help.
Yeah,
the food
you
bank.
can just give us a call, and if, we accept donations every single day of the week. Also, you can go on Amazon. There's a couple wish lists there. You can order off of Amazon and have it shipped
That's
directly to the food
very
bank, which
convenient.
is very convenient. And a lot of people do that.
Yeah, I bet.
There's so many ways. As we're going into the growing season, if you are a backyard gardener and you have an excess of tomatoes or cucumbers or whatever it is you're growing, we're glad to receive that from you as well.
That's great.
during the summer, we love like all the fresh produce coming in.
Yeah.
During the winter, it's a lot of potatoes, onions, carrots, and squash. But the summer produce is our favorite.
And then sometimes you end up with just a palette of surprise.
That's
You
right.
never know.
We do all the time.
What are some of like the unusual things that have showed up?
You know,
totally
I don't.
I'm totally
I know.
putting you on
I
the
don't.
spot
I
right
don't
now.
really know, but I don't know anything like really unusual. Like some great stuff. Like recently, you know, it was Girl Scout cookie season, and we had 2 chapters of the Girl Scouts in Massachusetts donate pallets
Oh, wow.
of Girl Scout cookies.
Oh,
So that's a really
your
nice
agency
treat.
must have like really been
Yeah,
psyched
what
about
a
that.
treat,
Yeah.
right? What else? What else? We'll get like donations too of like hand sanitizer and
Yeah.
wipes and cleaning goods and cleaning supplies. So those are always nice to have. And odd stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah, all
can't
right.
really think of anything odd.
I know of some of them too, and they're not
Yeah.
popping to my head. And then finally, I want to talk about Operation Nourish because I think this is just an amazing
Yeah.
program.
So we operate a few direct service programs. One is Operation Nourish, which is our children's feeding program. And right now we're serving all 27 Lowell public schools. We also serve Lowell Community Charter, the Middlesex Academy Charter on Middle Street, Innovation Academy, a school in Chelmsford, a school in Haverhill, and Greater Lawrence and Greater Lowell Technical High Schools.
Wow.
And we do it in a couple of different ways. The elementary schools in Lowell, their students receive, those students identified by staff members of maybe needing some extra food at home, receive a bag of food home on Friday to get them through the weekend till they return to school on Monday, where here in the city, well, actually across the state, they get free breakfast and lunch. The other way is in Lowell, we have what's called mill markets, and they're in-school pantries, and they're cabinets that we fill at least once a month, but if we get a call mid-month and somebody needs some more macaroni and cheese or peanut butter, we'll bring it to them. And then staff members help the students or assist the students at these cabinets to...
Staff members within the school?
Yes, to grab some food to take home. And we try to make it very discreet and you know, the elementary school students, they get very excited about those bags. We've even heard that some of them call them goodie bags, which is really sad because I think of a goodie bag as the bag you take home from a birthday party. But they get very excited. Where, you know, middle school and up, they're very concerned about people knowing their situation. So we kind of try to keep it on the down low.
Yeah. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Which we'll jump right into after that ends for the school year. USDA-sponsored
Yes.
summer lunch, Summer Eats program. We're going to be serving 15 sites this year. We prepare the lunches at our new building. We used to go off-site to Lowell Catholic. They were always so good to us, but we're happy to be in our own facility. And the sites come to us, pick up their lunches, and they distribute them. So some Parks and Rec site in Lowell, like McPherson. We support Lowell Youth Leadership Program for their 4-week camp. O'Donnell Splash Pad.
Yeah.
And we'll be putting out that list and free lunch to any child 18 years of age or under. No questions asked.
Wow. Amazing.
So last year we did about, I think, 14,000 lunches and snacks. And it's from July 5th, 6th, 7th this year through like August 15th.
Wow.
So it's a pretty quick window.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, you do so many great things at the food bank.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want the viewers or listeners to know?
Well, just that, you know, as Danielle said earlier, food is a really basic need, and actually thinking about people not knowing where their next meal is going to come from, especially children, it is really disheartening to me. It makes me sad. I think everybody should have access to healthy food. And I think it's important to know that when families do go to a pantry, they're not leaving that pantry with a food order like you are leaving the supermarket with. This is supplemental It's maybe meant to get you through a few days, maybe a week. There's not 5 proteins in that order.
Right.
You know, maybe there's a package of chicken and maybe some ground turkey, or, it may vary week to week. But sometimes it's all they have. And we use the word supplemental a lot because maybe it makes us feel better to assume that people have milk and bread and butter in their refrigerator. But that's not always the
Right.
case. And I think that families, and especially parents, I can't imagine not being able to provide 3 meals a day
Right.
for my family and how that must feel to the family. And so I would really encourage people to, if not help us, find your local pantry, donate to your local pantry. We have a list of pantries on our website, all of who could use your help, volunteer. I know Coalition for a Better Acre right now, they're on Merrimack Street, their pantry. They're looking for volunteers.
Oh, great. Well, not great, but good that you're able to
yeah.
share that opportunity.
I know that Diane at Salvation Army could probably always use an extra hand. I would like seriously try to find a meals program, St. Paul's, whatever it might be in your community. Every single suburban town has a pantry, at least one. Drake, Westford, Chelmsford, Andover,
It's
North
a great way to
Andover.
get your kids involved too. I mean, it's like it's a basic need for them too. So to say like there are children maybe that you're sitting next to in class that have food
Correct.
insecurity and have them go with you to the grocery store and pick out some food and drop it off at the food bank, get involved. It's a good way to start having your kids think a little bit outside of
Yeah,
themselves.
I agree. And the hosting a food drive, even if it's or just taking your child to the supermarket and letting them pick out a
Right.
few items and then dropping them off at the food bank, and we can give them a tour and talk about
Yeah.
what happens with that food and where does it end up.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate you being here.
I love being here,
We'll
Danielle.
have you again soon. I can't
I
believe it's
hope
your first
so.
time on this.
I know.
It's crazy.
And then we'll do this. I should
Yeah.
mention that it's the Nonprofit Alliance that I sit on their board as well, and we're gonna rotate in a cast of characters each month
Great.
with Danielle. So it should be fun.
Yes, I can't wait. Looking
It
forward
should
to
be fun. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you very much. And thank you all for tuning in to another wonderful edition, I have to say, of Chamber Chat. We'll be back again soon.
Thanks.